Hello and welcome back, or welcome to our Maserati F1 Manager series as you join us at the back end of this first season in 2025. Yes, we are approaching the end of our first season with Maserati. We will have the racing COTA. It's actually a sprint weekend, so we'll have a sprint race and a full race in today's episode as we head to COTA. But it's round 17. It's only a 20 race season. So yeah, just 4 races left now of this 2025 season. And we have got 25 days until we hit Austin. So it's that sort of secondary break now that we get in F1. So normally I'd be doing quite a lot of work off track. But as you can see in the bottom right there, only $1.6 million. And in the last race, we had a broken front wing for Franco that we couldn't replace. So we've probably got some manufacturing to do, which may stump us in being able to do some research. Hopefully, we've got some sponsorship money coming in. But yeah, we may not be able to do too much in this break. But mentioning that last race, it was in Singapore. Franco Colapinto was on for probably P8, maybe higher, at least P9. But a Williams crashing into the wall and then knocking into Franco's front wing. He had major front wing damage, was losing speed, couldn't have left him out in the race. We needed to replace it. The only problem was we didn't have the same spec, so we couldn't replace the front wing, so we had to retire Franco Colapinto. That in itself helped to promote Zane Maloney, and Zane was able to recover to P9. So still good points for us. There's still a couple of points, but yeah, could have been maybe a double points finish. Could have been 8th and 10th, 9th and 10th, I feel. So Franco, really no fault of his own. Unlucky in that last race in Singapore. Let's hope he can bounce back in COTA, and let's head there shortly. But before that, all that good stuff, if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you want to be made aware when each of these episodes drop in the Maserati series. And if you can do me a massive favor, press that like button, and of course get involved down below in the comments. But let's crack on then, see what we've got to do in this window before COTA. So the first thing I want to have a look at is our spare parts. So we've got 4 chassis, only 1 front wing, so we need to get a front wing manufactured. Looks like we've got a failed rear wing on both. Side pods, they're the new side pods, so we should have those coming to Maloney's car. Only 2 underfloors, and we can't do a suspension either, so we need quite a bit of manufacturing. So what we have got underfloor side pods and suspension being manufactured. So I think once they're done, we'll need a couple of front wings and rear wings, and that should be it. But again, that's going to use probably most of our money. So again, we're going to really struggle to do a design work here. And car parts, we can see we've got 1 research project going on. The big problem here is we start with not much money, but normally in F1 Manager, of course, we start in 2024. That first year is normally rough with money when you're creating a team. It gets a lot better in 2025, which is obviously the year that you can do a lot of research in time for those 2026 regs. We've obviously used the mod to skip forward in time to 2025. So the first season for us is 2025. So we're struggling with money in 2025. The money will be good in 2026. But of course, because the money's bad this year, we can't do the amount of research we need to for 2026. So I've got a feeling our car might reset to the worst car on the grid for 2026 because, as I say, money situation, we're doing minimal research projects. So we'll see. The bit of money we do get, we'll throw on research. But at the moment, we've got to get the parts on the car. So let's see how we go. Okay, suspension is finished, so we've got that on both cars. We've only got 2, so we do want to get some spares of that, but the front wing is what we need to get. So let's do 3 of those. It's going to cost 675,000. Okay, underfloor manufacturing is done now as well, so should have opened up more manufacturing spots we have. Right, let's have a look at the warehouse now then. So 4 chassis. We'll have 4 front wings. It's rear wings. We need a couple of those. And that's going to be 550, so that takes us down now to 300,000. But that will give us 4 front wings. This should all be enough to the end of the season, hopefully. This will be the last manufacturing I do. If we run out of parts, we'll just revert to the older spec now. Side pods, so we've got 2. We probably need another 2 of those, really. Underfloor, we've got 3. So suspension we could do with 2, and side pods. So yeah, suspension and side pods, but it all depends how much money we get here. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, we can't even afford side pods. We can afford 1 suspension. Well, that's going to give us a whopping 88,000. So we are completely out of cash now. Okay, our latest driver development update. They're staying as their overall stats in terms of 79 for Colapinto, 76 for Maloney. But again, another increase on their individual stats. Adaptability for Franco, 79 from 79 going to 80. And Zane Maloney, his overtaking has gone from 71 to 72. So they both continue to improve, which is good to see. Okay, Zane Maloney's race engineers improved from 76 to 77. We'd like to see that. Okay, our sponsor plan has not been hit. Oh, that's not good. We've just missed it. I don't know why, though, because could have been enough. 1.6 million. We do get some Mantry as well. And the research on our front wing has happened. So we're up to 2.5 million with that sponsor plan completed. Let us use that now to do a bit of research then. All right, let's get an underfloor research project underway. Let's use all of this time. Actually, we'll use most of this time. We'll get a couple done if we can. Let's go for that. One engineer, 33 days. That's 1 million. And yeah, so we've only done one research project on each once we now do the underfloor and side pods. So not great. You want to do a lot more than that, but we've been hampered by money. And let's do another one engineer on that. That's another $1 million. But at least we've got another couple of research projects underway. Hopefully we can get another couple in before the end of the year. But it's really going to depend. We've got to hit our race targets next race and then get another couple more in. Okay, we now need to set this month's sponsor plan. So scout team size, that's fine. Crew fatigue, we don't want. We don't want weather performance. Let's go for that. VIP, let's go for that. Let's go for that. We probably need to be one more just to make sure. Let's go for that. That should confirm the sponsor plan for this month. Hey, this sort of autumn break that we get is now over. We've arrived at COTA. Same old race targets, 18 for each. If we hit that, it's going to give us $1.1 million. So we need to try, and even with damage, I don't think Colapinto would have got 18th anyway if we kept him out with that front wing. But we do need to be mindful of trying to retire the cars because we do really need to get 18th or higher. So it's probably worth keeping them out just in case there is retirements further up the grid to obtain that 18th. But let's see how we go in this one and only practice session. Then we'll jump in to sprint quali. Okay, our one and only practice session completed, and I'm pretty happy because we've got Maloney to 91% on his car setup and Franco Colapinto 97%. So that's really good work with only one practice session. Of course, their driver confidence isn't high because track acclimatization a little bit down because they've only had the one session so far, but that should go to high, I'd imagine, after this sprint quali. So really good work for us. Let's get their fresh car parts on, and then we'll jump into this first sprint quali session. Okay, as we always do, get the drivers out very quickly in sprint qualifying. It looks like the whole grid is going out, so that should mean there won't be any traffic, hopefully. Although there is a couple of bits of traffic, so that could be wrong. Let's wait and see what they do. Let's just compare their time. So 31.6 Colapinto. Yeah, Colapinto's lost a hell of a lot of time. He's 5 seconds slower in that first sector. What was the second? 37.9. That's more comparable. So hopefully Maloney is going to get a fresh, a quick, clean lap in here, I should say. But Colapinto is going to have to go again. Maloney across the line. He goes P4. Still 2.4 off. There's a lot of traffic going on there, isn't it? Could be whoever gets less traffic here comes out on top. Right, Franco is back out. And he's going to catch Hadjar, but that's going to be his only bit of traffic. And hopefully it will be past this corner. And he'll move out on this straight, and this should be good then for Colapinto. He's going green. He's going quicker. Maloney we're going to have to send out right at the end of the session. Maloney is in the drop zone as well, P18. So both our drivers had traffic in the first runs. But Colapinto, I think, is going to be a lot better here. Green through that middle sector. Got 2 Ferraris in the drop zone as well. So as you see, a lot of drivers hampered by traffic. 6th to 10th is an Albon in the Williams, Ocon in a Haas, 2 Kicks Albers and another Williams, so that shows you. Hopefully Colapinto, this is going to be a pretty good lap. He obviously took some tyre life out of his tyres. It's only one set of tyres you can use in sprint quali. So he's used the best of them in that run that he's hampered in. But Colapinto goes to P6. That should be nice indeed. And now we need to get Maloney out. We sent Maloney out, unfortunately. Letting quicker cars pass has meant he's got stuck right behind the rear wing of a kick Sauber. So unfortunately, I don't think Maloney's going to make it through here. He's just going to lose time all the way. He is going green though. What's he got to find though? He's got to find a second at the moment. That's without anyone else getting traffic. He's not going to go quicker than this kick Sauber because he's stuck behind it. Doesn't go quicker through the middle sector. So as I say, not looking great. Let's see what he does. Maloney does improve, but as expected, not going to be enough. Really hampered by where he came out there. And Maloney is out, but Colapinto will be safely through then to SQ2. And Hamilton qualifies dead last here in SQ1. Okay, same again. We got Colapinto out straight away, and the whole grid have gone out as Colapinto has a spin. But this will be no traffic for Colapinto, no dirty air. So this should be good, and hopefully he won't have to go out again as he sets the pace with a 1:33.2. Let's see what the other drivers do. Albon beats it by just under 2/100ths of a second there, so very close with Albon, and Antonelli has gone quicker as well. So Colapinto is in the drop zone. We have sent him back out, but again, you only get one set of tyres, medium tyres, so we've took the tyre life out of them. We haven't gone quicker through the first sector. And is he going to encounter any traffic? He has got Piastri and then maybe Verstappen. Piastri out of the way very nicely. I think that should be fine. I think Verstappen will start to push on his outlap by the time we get to him. But yeah, we're not going quicker. So unfortunately, we're only looking for 2/100ths of a second, but it doesn't look like we're going to find it. Looks like Franco is going to be out then in SQ2. Hopefully, just on the fringes of the points then. Franco across the line. Does he improve? No, he does not. So it's going to be at best P11. Let's see how it all shakes up. And no one is improving below us. So yeah, Colapinto knocked down SQ2, but it will be P11. Right, let's see what happened in SQ3 then. It's a Ferrari pole. Charles Leclerc puts it on pole. Max Verstappen second. Lando Norris third. George Russell fourth. Oscar Piastri fifth. Kimi Antonelli sixth. Fernando Alonso seventh. Yuki Tsunoda eighth. Albon 9th and Carlos Sainz 10th. I said just out of the points in P11, but of course points is P8, up to P8 in the sprint, so we're a few places off that. Talking of points, Lewis Hamilton down in dead last, so he's got a big task to try and get points. Of course, there's not as many points available, so he won't have a great loss, but he is fighting for this championship with Verstappen, Charles, and the championship leader, George Russell, so they could... Verstappen and Charles take some more points out of George Russell on this sprint. But let's do some strategy, then jump into the full sprint race. And you'll know with sprints, you never make a pit stop unless you have to. So it's only going to be one compound. And the compound of choice for us today is going to be the mediums. Softs on light, not really liking that. Could go hards and use a bit more tyre life, but I think the mediums are going to work best. So we'll go mediums with both drivers. It's Colapinto from P11, Maloney P19. Let's see if we can creep Colapinto into the points here and see how we go in this sprint race.
For the sprint.
Here we go then, 4 lights, 5 lights for this sprint in COTA, and we're underway as Leclerc gets us underway from pole. It's Colapinto P11, it's Maloney P19. How can we go in this one today? Can we get up to the top 8? Can we get points? Looks unlikely, but we'll see. Colapinto squabbling with the Williams. That seems to be where our battle is at the moment, with the Williams and Stroll in the Aston and Alonso in the Aston when he has a few issues. But I think if Alonso's got a good car, no damage, no mechanical issues, he should be ahead of us. But we're into P10 with Colapinto. Split the Williams. We're in a Williams sandwich as we've got a yellow flag. Maloney is out of the race. Maloney is out of this race. What has happened? This is an overtake on Pierre Gasly, I believe. Ah, this is not going to be good for car parts.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
What on earth has happened here? Ollie Behrman then. Oh, I think that's on us, to be honest with you. That's a massive impact into the barrier. Looks like Maloney tried it on the inside, just took too much speed.
As for
And
the team back in the
Korean
garage,
into the side of the half
it was a
sends us
tough
both
moment to
flying out of
watch.
the race. That could be a very costly. We've not got the money, so Maloney may well have to run the older spec car parts for later on in this season. But Maloney's out Bearman out. I'm more worried about the
Now, we're
gearbox
watching
and
the action
engine.
closely here.
Another replay here. Just looks like carrying way too much speed into
And
there,
makes
onto the
contact
brakes,
with
but
the wall.
can't do
Now,
anything.
their confidence will have taken...
And we are out, and it is a safety car deployed then, and that is bad news for us. Maloney probably unlikely to get points in this race, but the damage he's caused that car is going to be incredible in terms of cost and parts, so not good for us in this sprint in COTA. Colapinto then DRS on Alex Albon. Shut the DRS momentarily there, but it's reopened. Can we retake what will be P9? Yes, we can. Wonder if Albon's just going through a bit of a conserve phase either on the tyres or battery, or both. But I think this squabble will continue. As Alex Albon looking to make the move. As we do, Tsunoda's got a mechanical fault. Albon is through on the inside. He's made contact. Oh my goodness. And now Colapinto's got damage. These Williams who came together with
been a
Colapinto
crash.
last time out in Singapore. I think it was Albon who wrecked Colapinto's race last time out. Well, there's not much we could do there. Where can we go? These are the contentious decisions we have in real Formula 1. Some would say Albon clearly ahead at the apex there, so he has the right to run us out of road, and Colapinto should have lifted. But Colapinto now has front wing damage. It's minor, but that means we've got to change the front wing probably on both cars now. It's so costly this weekend. We are probably going to have to start... I'm not going to manufacture any new parts now, so we're going to have to start using older parts for the final. After this race, be 3 races to go, because we need the money for research. And here comes Colapinto, though. Even with that that front wing broken, minor damage, of course, he's going to reclaim P9. We're going to try and push on the battery, see if we can push this gap to Albon and break the DRS. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to break the DRS. We've used all the battery and we've not pulled away. So Albon looking good really for P9 here. I think this damage causing us to lose time. It's in this part of the track where we're trying to pull away because that's where the DRS isn't. And unfortunately, that's probably where we're losing most of our time with that minor front wing damage. So Alex Albon, you've got to think, is in a great position now to reclaim P9. And we look like we're going to finish P10 in this one, but I'm more concerned about changing this front wing and the damage that Maloney's had in this race. It's been a real bad sprint race for us here. Caught up in 2 accidents. Well, caught up in that one with Albon, Maloney really causing the first one. But that's going to cost us a lot of money. Well, potentially money if we try to go for replacing the parts. But as I say, I'm probably going to go back to older parts if we need to. Maloney, I'm concerned on the gearbox, engine and ERS, because they were quite fresh ones he had in his car. Albon, is he going to make the move now? He is, and through he goes then to P9, and we'll filter in, see if we can challenge him later on in this race. If not, we're going to have to settle for P10 in this one. As Hamilton started last, is nearly on our gearbox, but we're not going to be able to get Albon. It would have been for a point anyway. But we're not quite going to get Alex Albon here, are we? We're going to get very close, but not close enough.
Max Verstappen over
Verstappen wins it. Leclerc second, Russell third. And Franco looks like he's going to come away then in what will be P10. Has he got a chance? No, he's not got a chance there. So Albon holds on, causes us damage. But it's P10 for Colapinto, P21, a retirement for Maloney, and a hell of a lot of damage for Maserati in this one. There we go then, Max wins it, Charles Leclerc second, George Russell third, Alonso up 3 to P4, Piastri fifth, Kimi Antonelli sixth, Yuki Tsunoda seventh, Lando dropping 5 places there, finishes 8th, and we had the battle with Albon, but he holds on to finish P9, Colapinto up 1 to finish P10. As we see, Zane Maloney has retired. Let us see the extent of that damage. Right, here we go. First of all, let's concentrate on Colapinto. He's lost the chassis and a front wing. Everything else pretty good. Right, let's have a look at Maloney. So he's lost the chassis. He's going to have to go back to an old version. No, he can go on that one. I don't know why it wasn't allowing me. That's fine. So he's still on the current. He can go on the newest front wing. But again, that's our last 2 front wings. Rear wing has gone. He can have another rear wing. Side pods, no. He's going to have to go back to the old version. Those new side pods lasted all of 1 sprint race. And suspension, he can have a suspension. But as you see, after these parts, we're going to have to go back to old parts. Now, my concern was more so these, but actually the engine is okay at 89%. ERS 73, that's fine. He's taking a little bit of life out of that, but they'll both make it to the end. Gearbox, yeah, this was a new gearbox. It was a 100% gearbox, I think, we put in for this race weekend, because he had 4. And if we had this one in, it would have been fine, because we'd have knocked that down to about 0%, and we'd still had our final gearbox at 100%. Now he's got to struggle through with these, so yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, does it? 4%. So he's going to struggle with gearbox towards the end of the season. But there we go. He's all ready. So is Colapinto. Let's head to quali and see what we can do in Q1. Okay, our first flying laps here then. And Maloney's done a 24.8 first sector, 25.0 for Colapinto, 37.7. So probably a 10th in favour of Maloney as he crosses the line. A 133.1. Colapinto 4 tenths off in the end. So advantage to Maloney during that first run. We'll see how the rest of the grid goes. Okay, on our second flying laps, Colapinto and Maloney still safe at the moment, but they're not going quicker through the first sectors. So you'd think Verstappen, Tsunoda, Albon, maybe Stroll will improve, although Stroll's got an issue. So it looks like both our drivers might be under pressure unless we get some green sectors here. Norris is actually fit. Maloney's going to be through, actually. This track, historically on this game, you do get traffic issues, and I think we're seeing that. So Maloney, I think, is actually going to be through. So it's Colapinto we really need to improve here. And we're on board, or we're watching Franco. Down in that first sector. Can he improve in the second sector? He does. He's got a green sector in the second sector. Maloney not going quicker, but as I say, Maloney is going to be safe. Stroll is finished. Bortoletto's finished. Colapinto right on the cusp now. So he needs to go quicker, but if he finds, 2 tenths, he'll jump Behrman, Hadjar, Norris and Sainz. As Verstappen goes P2, so he drops Colapinto into the drop zone. This is now crucial for Franco Colapinto. Needs to find a 10th at least. 2 would be great. Franco, and he does improve. He finds more than that, about 4 tenths in the end, I think. And Colapinto goes P11, and that's both our drivers safely through. As Stroll knocked out in the Aston Martin, which is a bit of a surprise, and Norris just survives in P16.
Okay, great.
Okay, as we typically do in Q2, straight out, but on the scrub set of tyres, those that we just finished Q1 on. So these shouldn't be our quickest times, but we'll see. As both drivers go through shortly. Doohan having a spin in the Alpine. Both Alpines through, as well as one of the Saubers. And Colapinto nearly a second up on Maloney. I think he was benefiting from a tow by the looks of it. So that lap might end up being pretty good for Colapinto. I'm thinking that lap for Colapinto is very good, to be fair. But we'll wait and see. We're going to go out on our second runs here. Going to try and give Maloney a bit of the tow this time. Oh, will he get out? He will. I don't know if he's going to get much of a tow, though. There's a bit of a delay in getting him out there. All right, here we go. Maloney has gone quicker through that first sector. I don't think he's going to pick up much of a tow, though, so it's down to the drivers here. They are on fresh softs. Maloney currently in the drop zone, P13. And Doohan has just finished his lap. Gasly has not set a time. Hulkenberg just creeps into the top 10. Sainz has finished as well. So Colapinto's got a chance to stay in the top 10 here. But we do expect, Verstappen and Antonelli should go quicker. So, yeah, Colapinto will probably drop in to the bottom 6. So, Colapinto does need to go quicker, I'd say, actually. And so does Maloney. Maloney did a 24.9 first sector. 24.7. Colapinto was quicker, although it was slower than his first run. Second sector, 37.2. 37.6. Maloney's way off the pace here. As I say, he has got the problem of a 42% gearbox, of course. And Colapinto 97, and that's down to Maloney. We're not going to be paying for another gearbox. So Maloney's going to have to struggle through to the end of the season here. And it looks like it might cost him, as Verstappen did go quicker. So Colapinto needs to find a few tenths here. And he does. It's enough to put him P8. So even if Antonelli goes quicker, won't be enough. Maloney is staying in that bottom 6. Antonelli jumps into the top 10. Is Fernando Alonso knocked out? I'm thinking he's on an in-lap there. He is indeed. So Fernando in the second Aston is out. Colapinto through to Q3. But it's probably, again, fighting for Albon for either 10th or 9th in this final Q3 session. You join us in Q3 then. Colapinto set his first time on a set of used softs, but it's enough to already beat Albon. So we will be at least P9 on those used tyres, and he's not gone quicker through that first sector, even on a fresh set of softs. So perhaps he's not going to best his quickest time in this session, but we're on board. Let's see what he does through the second sector. Russell is on provisional pole by just over 1/100th of a second. Antonelli less than a 10th behind as well. Very close between the top 3. Sonoda's finished. What can Verstappen, Hamilton and Leclerc do? They're currently 7th, 8th and 10th on fresh softs on their final runs. We're going to be one of the last across the line. I think it's us, then Charles Leclerc that we see in the background there. Leclerc made the line with about 1 to 2 seconds spare. We are not going quicker. So unless Hamilton, Verstappen and Leclerc have a bit of an issue here, it looks like it's going to be P9 for us. Russell extends his margin on Norris by another 2/100 seconds, so it's now up to a whopping 3/100 seconds. Verstappen, though, bests that by a 10th of a second. And Antonelli, by 1/1000th of a second, is now on provisional pole. Hamilton's finished. What about Charles Leclerc? He goes 5th. So it's a Mercedes. Red Bull Mercedes there. But a great lap from Kimi Antonelli to put it on pole. And we're actually quicker than Lewis Hamilton, who is definitely on in lap. He is. So we will start this full race in P8. There we go. Antonelli pulled the lap out by just 1/1000th of a second to beat Max Verstappen. George Russell 3rd. Lando Norris 4th. Charles Leclerc 5th. Yuki Tsunoda 6th. Oscar Piastri 7th. And a great qualifying session for Franco Colapinto. Puts it in P8. Hamilton 9th. Albon 10th. Going to be hard work to keep Hamilton behind. Hopefully we can keep Albon behind and fight for at least a point or two again today. Alonso, that Aston Martin, looks like it's struggling here. Although he had a very good sprint, so might have just been unlucky with traffic. So we'll wait and see his race pace. Zane Maloney got that penalty, of course, from the sprint race. So he'll be starting further down than he qualified. And he's got a gearbox that is getting worn. So going to be a very depressing end to the season for Zane Maloney, but all down to himself for that crash in the sprint. Let's have a look at strategy then before getting this one underway. And confirmation, it's an 8th place grid penalty then for Zane Maloney. He will start in P19, so a long race ahead of him for Zane. Okay, the first thing we can see here is that we do have rain, and that's going to hit from around about lap 16, probably getting to inters around about lap 20. So it's never going to get to full wet. It's not going to dry out enough for dry tyres again. So the options we've got, yeah, we've got medium into, haven't we? So we've got that. Another option we could do is we could look at soft. We could look at soft inter to inter. What lap did we say that was? Around about, yeah, lap 20. So that I don't like as much because I don't think you can get those tyres to last. Yeah, the medium's quicker anyway, so the final variation we could do is a hard. See, that's just because we've extended the lap time, though. What lap did we say? Lap 17, so we do have to keep these all the same, really. Lap 17 and 37. There we go, so that would be the same. So it's 1 second quicker. There's tyre life in that medium, though. I feel medium is better because it's still got some tyre life. The only other thing we could try here is one set of inters. Six seconds slower, apparently. Right, I think, Franco, then, we go mediums into inters. I think we mix it up on Maloney. They've done it for us. That's exactly what we were going to go for. a medium to the into one stop. So that's exactly what we will go for. I think Maloney's going to have a hard race because of that gearbox so worn. But nonetheless, it's Franco Colapinto. Starts P8. He's going on the medium, then inters, then a second stop for another set of fresh inters. Maloney's going one stop. So dry tyres, mediums, till the rain hits. Then he's going to be on inters all the way to the end. Let's get this underway then. Colapinto P8, Maloney P19. Let's see how we go round COTA. And it's Kimi Antonelli who put it on pole here in qualifying by 1/1000th of a second from Max Verstappen. And Kimi gets us underway, but it's Colapinto for us in P8. First step for us is try to fend off Lewis Hamilton, who's in P9 here, into T1. And we do. Antonelli keeps the lead in that Mercedes. And Colapinto safely through then in P8. Maloney P19. As we are alongside Yuki Tsunoda and Oscar Piastri, and that is a double move for Colapinto from P8 up to P6. What tyres are they on? Piastri actually on the softs. Well, that is a beautiful move from Franco and Zane Maloney pulling out his own moves at the back here.
Go into turn 4. There's the opening.
And I think that's Ollie Behrman, who he crashed with in the sprint race. Ollie Behrman's still with him, to be fair, so I'm not sure if this is quite finished. We'll soon see. Yes. Behrman concedes in the end. So Maloney gains a position. Colapinto gains 2. Up to P6. Not sure we can stay there with Franco and Oscar Piastri having a look. Well, that's a lovely start for our driver. And he's getting a nice little toe now off Charles Leclerc. He's going to move out nice and early. Charles looks to be on the hard tyre there. He is indeed. That's quite bold. Not sure hard is the way to go, but we could be wrong on that. And Maloney still P18. Colapinto holds P6, but he's got those behind him now on DRS. Piastri's going to be coming at him heavy here. Bortoletto's locked up. That's another place for Maloney, but there goes Oscar Piastri into P6. Colapinto down to P7. Maloney gets that overtake on Bortoletto. So I think we're just going to see Bortoletto. Yeah, not sure what Bortoletto's up to out there, but Maloney up to P17. Right, lap 3 then. Colapinto P7, but as we've been saying here, we're probably not going to be fighting Tsunoda and Hamilton. It's really, we want to be trying to fight Alonso if we can, but certainly the two Williams. We want to hold on to at least a point here today. There goes Yuki. Up the inside then. Colapinto holds him off for now, but when Yuki opens that DRS, that's going to be pretty much game over, I'd imagine. And we want to save a bit of battery, so there goes Yuki Tsunoda. What's Maloney doing back here? He's got DRS on Hadjar, who's got no DRS. And Maloney sent one down the inside. He's a little bit too far back on that occasion. Colapinto should just hold on to the DRS to Yuki Tsunoda. The issue here is Alonso and Albon are in the DRS of Hamilton. I would have liked to seen them drop off the DRS, which would have helped us pull a gap. That's fine. Lewis Hamilton having a look on the inside, and he's going to stay there. You can get forced out wide there. We do we lose the position? Franco doesn't want to lose it. He's going to fight it back, and he fights it back well. Tyre life, everyone about the same. Lewis is still there. These two going at it. But I think we're going to have to concede this, and Lewis is through. Is he, or is he? Franco's still alongside him. He really doesn't want to give this up. But all it's doing is bringing into play Fernando Alonso and that Williams. And I think ideally that's who we're fighting today. Right, we will get DRS here though. Yeah, I was looking at tyres. It's all about the same in terms of usage at the moment. And if you've missed the start, we've got rain coming in on this race from around about, should start to fall lap 15, 16. Probably switch to inters around lap 20, somewhere between 15 and 20. We will need to put on some inters. So Colapinto, P9, started P8, but he had a couple of faster cars behind. So P9, I think, probably is the maximum we can achieve today. I'd be happy with P10, so at least a point is what we're aiming for. Fernando is on the hard tyres, as is Albon, so they've got a little bit more tyre life to play with. And Colapinto's just lost the DRS here to Lewis Hamilton, so now he's going to be under pressure from Fernando, who looks to be pushing quite heavily. Albon did just get DRS as well, so he's going to be straight back with us as well. Here comes Fernando Alonso. It's long up the hill, left-hander at COTA, and Fernando is free, and that's what can happen. You can be pushed out wide. We don't lose too much time. But not ideal there. And that has put Maloney back past him.
Let's take a look here at turn 10.
So we can see Maloney right behind him. Lance Stroll is going to have a moment.
Well, you can see the lockup, and they'll need to be mindful of the effect that had on
And
the
there we go.
tyre.
Maloney is all over Hadjar here as his DRS slammed shut there briefly, but here we go. Maloney alongside Isaac Hadjar, and he's through on the inside, so Maloney has finally made a move. Barring those at the start. Again, we did say he might be able to take advantage at the end of this stint because he's saved quite a bit of tyre life, and that's what he's doing now. So Maloney up to P16. Tsunoda's really kicking on down the road. Stroll has got a puncture. Oh, it goes from bad to worse to Stroll. He's going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Oh, and he's holding Ocon up a treat there, isn't he? Gets out of the way. But Stroll, the go that is Lance Stroll, locked up. Killed his tyres because of that lockup, and he's been trying to hold out for this rain. He's going to have to box at the end of this lap. It's probably a lap too early for Inters, but he's got no real choice. He's going to have to come in and put on the Inters now. So Stroll just out here doing Stroll things as he rolls into the pits. Colapinto, do we come in at the end of this lap? It's only 0.44. I think it's still another lap away, you know. Depends where we are when we get to the start-finish straight. Tsunoda's really pushed on. He's straight on Fernando Alonso. We've still got 6 seconds to Albon. That's the main thing for us. Tsunoda's in fact passed Alonso, so Tsunoda is really using the pace that he had in that Red Bull. Of course, thanks for the follow. I think we're going to go one more lap. The rate that is falling, it's about probably about 0.28 a lap, so I think by next lap it'll be perfect. So let's go next lap. Right, all of the top 9 have come in. I'm going to go next lap with both drivers. Right, we're in. Now I'm slightly worried where this Williams is going to be because we started to lose a lot of time there, second half of that lap. We really need to see where Albon is. Right, Maloney's in as well. Here comes Franco then. Hopefully a clean stop. He's going to need it now. 2.8, not the quickest, but no mistake in there. Where is Albon though? He's there. We should be out ahead of him. It's going to be tight though. It's going to be very tight. There is Albon. And there you see the amount of time we lost. So the gamble has not paid off for us there. But as I say, the main thing for us is to fight Albon for P10. We haven't lost the position. We've lost a lot of time though. We've given about 5-6 seconds away to Albon there. Got to get these tyres in the window now as well. Use a bit of battery. And Maloney out in P18, and he's going to the end on these tyres. So Maloney is literally on that strategy now till the end. Albon again. This is worrying. It's either Albon's just completely using all that battery, or he's got better pace than us in these in this weather. But this is not great, and this is on us really, losing that 6-second gap. We've put ourselves in this position. Albon's got another chance through here on the inside, and Albon's going to get the job done this time. I think he's using less tyre than us. Jacko, thanks for the follow. So, not great for us here. We might just have to manage our battery now behind him. Oh, Tsunoda. We have got drama ahead of us. Tsunoda and Alonso come together.
Yes, we have.
Tsunoda's in a real bad shape here. Oh, that's a big old lockup from Yuki. And he's going to get a penalty for that, surely. Alonso damaged Yuki, he's going to have to box. So is Alonso, I feel. Gap is still 11 seconds to those guys. If they can repair their cars, they're going to put another set of inters on anyway. Tsunoda going to get a puncture, perhaps as well. Really slow him up. Gap is 10 seconds. He's got the penalty as well. He's not got a puncture yet somehow. Down to 7%. Alonso has had to box. So will Yuki Tsunoda. His car is in awful shape. Is Yuki going to have to retire? Or can they repair that banged up Red Bull? Here comes Alonso then. A bit of drama. It's been injected into this race then. They've got to change the front wing. Yuki Tsunoda, they're having to wait to serve the penalty. And they're getting a new front wing on as well. And that's a very slow stop. Behrman's got a mechanical fault now. Things are starting to kick off in the second half of this race. All right, Alonso still showing us quite severe damage. He took impact into his side pod, so I'd imagine he's got some side pod chassis and maybe underfloor damage. Tsunoda's still got damage. The rear wing is absolutely wrecked. In real life, that would be in the pits to retire. But he's going to carry on, but they may well both be slow now. So Colapinto's battle for what was P10 with Albon might be a battle for P8 now. That's given us some drama there. Very nice indeed. And we really want to try and get an undercut on Albon here. And Albon is staying out. Shane is not an option to do opposite on here, because what we'd like to have done there is Albon jumped into pits. We would have stayed out, but we wouldn't have had no time in-game to react to that. So thankfully, Albon stays out. Colapinto in. We've got 21 laps to go, and our race really is here, I'd say. On this pit stop, needs to be clean. Oh no. Pit crew, please. Please let him go. It's over, chat. It's over. It's 10.7.
And there's been a slow pit stop.
10.7. We've lost 8 seconds in that pit stop. Thanks, pit crew. That's really, yeah. The undercut is off. The undercut is well and truly off. Maloney lets him through. Oh, that's diabolical from the pit crew. 10.8. That's an 8-second delay. Oh, that is... And it's the worst pit stop delay in game as well, when you get that one where there's... Officially, it's a jack issue, but it looks so stupid in game. They're just sitting there, not doing anything. If you get a wheel gun issue, it looks a little bit better, but that is just, yeah, the worst of the worst. So Albon could stay out probably for another 4 or 5 laps here, and it wouldn't make a difference. So the pit crew has done us there. They've killjoyed our excitement. And we've got to hope Tsunoda and Alonso are really struggling with those issues now. Because if not, we won't even be getting points. Sainz has got another yellow flag. Someone spun as Maloney's being challenged by Hadjar. Still a yellow flag. It's Antonelli. Oh no, Kimi Antonelli started on pole. He makes a lot of errors in this game. And he's fighting with his teammate. His teammate pushes him out wide. And Antonelli maybe finds a bit of puddle of water out there. And Antonelli's around. And he's down to P6. Russell's undercut, you know, might be good for the lead of this race. He leads the championship. This could be working wonders for George Russell. I think everyone else is going to box again. All right, Colapinto, we've got to be on a bit of a charge with him here. Albon stayed out, which is good. We kind of just need Albon to stay out as long as possible, really, now. Here comes Colapinto, though. And he does get that move done on Pierre Gasly. Quite interested to see what's going on for the battle lead. I think Verstappen... Oh, it's going to be tight. Going to be tight between Verstappen and Russell. They are fighting for this World Championship. And Maloney has got a gearbox problem. Or is it an engine problem? Max Verstappen does find his way out ahead of Russell. That's key. And he's got a 10% margin on him. Maloney, yeah, is his gearbox. As we know, he's got a problem with his gearbox. We need to claim at least P18 or above to get our sponsorship objective. So I'm going to, normally I'd probably retire Maloney at this point. We're going to keep him out there. See if we can claim at least P18. Of course, we're focusing more on Colapinto. Hulkenberg into the pits. That gets traffic out of the way for Colapinto. And Albon stays out again. Let's have a look at the last laps here. Albon a 1:49.8. Colapinto done a 1:46 flat. We took 3.8 seconds out of him. If that continues, we'll make up the pit loss. We need Albon to stay out for another lap. We might actually have a chance here of jumping Albon, but Albon's going to have much better tyre life. That's the only issue. But we can go aggressive all the way to the end on this tyre. Let's just see. And we're coming up to his teammate, Sainz, though. Is that Albon? That's Sainz. As Maloney's past Hadjar, Sainz has had a spin. We'll get back to that in a moment. Maloney fighting with Hadjar. Got a gearbox issue, but he's still fighting. Still plodding on. Yes, I know, but want to know if you were live. No worries. Yes, we are live indeed. It's not a replay. Yes, Sainz had a spin, so that gets that traffic out of the way. Sainz could have played some games for his teammate Albon, but instead he's lit up the rears there. And Colapinto says thank you very much. So things opening up for Franco. Is Albon into the pits? He's not. He's not, you know. Still 2.5 seconds quicker than Albon. So I think, and that's not accounting for our outlap. So I think we've took 6, 7, maybe we've near enough built up our pit stop to Albon. And he's not pitting again. He's going to have good tyres. He'll be able to attack on those tyres. I think Albon's going to throw away track position here. Albon does pit. Here we go. Barca, thanks for the follow. And Lawson overtakes Maloney. Lawson now on fresh tyres. Maloney, I say, we're just plodding along, hoping for at least 18th for Maloney. But here comes Alex Albon. Colapinto, 10.8 seconds stop. Lost 8 seconds. Can he jump Albon? That's a nice clean stop. It's going to be tight. But I think Colapinto is going to be past here. He is. There's Albon. It's going to be a couple of seconds here. Colapinto moves back into the points, P10, and he'll have a bit of a gap on Alex Albon now. Now he's got to close down Tsunoda and Alonso. Tsunoda is getting very close to Alonso again, and we know what happened last time. Those two were close. Colapinto has joined the fight here. But the problem is we don't want to get stuck in this battle because it's going to bring Alex Albon into contention here. Same, good to hear, Finley. Good to hear, buddy. Yeah, Albon now 4 seconds. I think Alonso is a bit of cork in the bottle here, causing us to lose time. I'm going to try and deploy out of this corner. You do deploy, but it looks like the Red Bull is as well. And is Yuki going to make the move? No, he can't get it done. Can't get it done. This may well open the door for Alex Albon, though. 12 laps to go. If we could get past these two quickly. But I don't know if we've got the pace of Yuki. It seems to be Alonso who's slow. And Nat, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you're well. Come on, Franco. Got to use what we've got here. This is good. This might be around the outside. No, he's getting bogged down. And Albon is getting ever closer here. There he is. Good slipstream here. Yuki's going to pull out. We're going to get caught on the gearbox. So Fernando, though, here. Ah, this is slowing us up so much. Albon's just took half a second out on that corner alone. Oh, this is real bad news for us. Yuki's through. We've used all the battery here. That's pretty much killed us there. Need to get through on this final corner. Need to send it. Need to send it, Franco, and he is sending it. But he's got no he's got no ERS. So Alonso's going to out-drag him. Oh, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong for Franco Colapinto, and it means Alex Albon is right with us now. Alex Albon got such a tyre advantage, of course. As Doohan's running wide. That's all good for Maloney, who just needs to hold on and get P18 here today. Verstappen's now into the lead of the race. Norris second, Russell third. Alonso is really struggling. Come on, Franco, we need to get through here. We need Fernando to try and hold up Albon here, but Albon's going to be tucked up right behind him here. All right, we're through. Is Albon going to get this done straight away here? Please, Fernando. Need that defense from Fernando. And Fernando does start to move defensively, but Alex Albon is going to send it. That was a long way back, and he's not going to make it work.
Okay.
It should be points no matter what now, because Alonso, I don't think, is going to have the pace to get past us. So it should be P10 guaranteed. But it's P8 or P9 potentially here for us today. Lance Stroll, hello buddy, how's it going? All right, getting the slipstream. Albon is past Alonso, so he's going to be right with us again shortly. It's not going to take him very long to get back to us. I think we're going to really struggle to fend off Albon once we've both cleared Yuki Tsunoda. Here we go. Here's the move on Yuki then. We use a lot of battery coming out of there. It was needed. And we've got past him, and now we just need Yuki to try and keep out. If he could keep Albon behind for a lap, that would be mega, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. Again, here comes Yuki. Gaining. Is he going to run out of road again, though? I think he is. Oh, Albon, though, on his outside. Can Albon hold on to that? Oh, Albon. It's going to be a problem if Albon's behind us, and he is going to be behind us. Alex Albon, now the car behind us. Let's try and hold him up. It's going to be difficult now with Albon behind us, that's for sure. This is a different task now with Alex Albon behind us. Albon's got such a good tyre delta on us. This is where we're going to have to use this battery. Way out of here, but look, we're not shaking Albon as much as we were. Yuki Tsunoda, he's got much better tyre life as Alex Albon. I think he's alongside. And this is why we needed Yuki to stay there, but Yuki's not stayed there, and Alex Albon gets it done at the earliest opportunity. That was always going to be the problem. That's why we're trying to keep Yuki in between us. But Alex Albon finally broke free. And that has gotten him to Franco Colapinto. It's got him to P8. It's the only thing Franco can do. Can he hold on to him? We might as well keep pushing on this battery just to try and stay with him. But the tyre difference is nearly 20%. So I think that's going to be job done for Alex Albon. Our tyres are not in good shape. His tyre margin is, what, 23%. Verstappen wins it. Norris second. It's going to be Russell P3 with the fastest lap. Obviously no point for that this year, though.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
Maloney's finished because he was lapped, so he gets P15. We want at least P18 for him. He's done that. Colapinto down to 31% tyre life. He's not had great traction out of this corner. This is where Albon's been able to pull away. We're going to use a lot of battery here, though. Can Franco do anything? I don't think he's gaining quite enough. He is gaining, though. We're going to run out of this straight, though. Oh, we would have got DRS if that changed. We would have got DRS if that changed to dry a moment earlier, but it doesn't. And we're just going to see and follow Albon through here, aren't we? We're going to be staring at that gearbox all the way to the finish line here. Albon has done enough to cover us off. It was a good battle with Albon. But ultimately, that pit stop cost us. We had a 10-second pit stop. We lost 8 seconds. And we would have been, what, 8 seconds up the road here. And this wouldn't even have been a battle. But it was a battle. It was a fun battle. But it's Alex Albon to claim P8. And it's going to be Colapinto to claim P9. It's another 2 points for us in a car that we may not have scored any points this year, and we're gaining quite a few. So we'll take that at the start of the race, but it could have been P8, but it's P9 for Colapinto. Maloney, with his battered gearbox, holds on to P15, but it's Max Verstappen that wins it. The full classification, Max Verstappen up 1 to win it. Lando Norris 2nd, George Russell 3rd, Charles Leclerc 4th, Kimi Antonelli started on pole, drops 4 places to 5th, Hamilton finishes 6th, Piastri 7th, Albon 8th, Franco Colapinto down 1 but 9th and finishes in the points. That's what we're aiming for, at least P10, and he does that by getting P9. Yuki Tsunoda with that crash with Alonso means he's down 4, also means Alonso finished P12. As we saw, Maloney went for the 1 stop with a battered gearbox, but he is up 4 places, finishes 15th, up 4 from 19th. But let's have a look at that Drivers' Championship then. And George Russell, well, he still leads it. It's been a sprint weekend, and Max has taken 12 points out of him. And there's only 3 races left after today, so you've got to say it's probably a 2-horse race now with Hamilton and Leclerc dropping a little bit too far back. But it is only 13 points now between Verstappen and Russell with 3 to go. So that is going to be very interesting. If Max beats Russell again in the next race, that's going to close even more. So it could come down to a final race here. Hopefully it does. As we've got 3 to go. Hopefully it comes down to a final race between Russell and Verstappen. But it is Russell still leading the championship, looking for his maiden world championship. Max Verstappen looking for his 5th in 2nd. Lewis Hamilton 3rd. Leclerc 4th. Piastri 5th. Norris 6th. Antonelli 7th. Yuki Tsunoda 8th. Alonso 9th. Zane Maloney 10th. No change in the top 10. There is a change in P11 though. Albon, by holding off Franco Colapinto there, gets 4 points and it jumps him in the Drivers' Championship. So Albon on 27. Colapinto 26. Colapinto gets another 2 points. He's just 9 points off Maloney, so could be very close between our 2 drivers at the end of the season. Constructors, as I say, Ferrari were looking good for this Constructors' Championship, and they're still looking good. It's, what, nearly 100 points with 3 races to go, so that's pretty much done now for Ferrari. But the battle for 2nd is very, very hot, I would say, because we've got, what, 40 points between Mercedes and Red Bull. So 40 between Mercedes, McLaren and Red Bull. So that's one to watch as we head to the final 3 races. Aston Martin 5th. They take 5 points across this sprint weekend. We only take 2, so it's 5 points. So we've still got a chance for 5th. Williams do gain on us, but we should have enough margin to claim 6th in the championship. And then it's Alpine in 8th. RB 9th. Sauber and Haas. 3 races to go, and they're still yet to score.